everybody was kind of pleasantly surprised by just the relative success of North America. Was that a surprise for you guys kind of going in this tournament? Because some people say, well, you might not even win a game.
We did better than I had expected. I thought we would, I thought we'd give the Finns a good run, like going in, and I wasn't sure how we'd do against Russia and Sweden. But as kind of those exhibition games progress, I could see us really picking up momentum, and the guys starting to gel. So much before the start of the tournament, yes. In hindsight, no. When I saw how the team gelled prior to the start, so.
The game against Sweden, a lot of people are saying it was a classic. I mean, the first 95 seconds alone, and then in overtime. What was it like just to watch that?
It was so exciting, and the up and down, and the guys, it was maybe, I don't know if it was the best game I've ever seen, but it was, as far as chances go, as far as maybe skill, it was the most skilled game I've ever seen, and trading chances, and the overtime was unbelievable. So it was a great game to be part of, and it's too bad we didn't advance, but I thought we ended on a high note.
Could an NHL team play like that for 82?
I don't think so. You could certainly play like that, but I don't think you'd have a lot of success. I don't think you'd be able to staff your team that way. Obviously, you couldn't. And secondly, we played that way because we had those players, and we decided in building the team going in, we saw kind of the pool we had to choose from, and there was a lot of speed, and we knew, like, in a short period at the beginning of the season we'd have young legs, so that's why we built the team that way. No, you just couldn't keep that pace up. You could play an offensive style. With a little more run and gun, and there are teams that do that, but you couldn't do it like we did.
Peter, you have those two centers, and Ryan and Connor, and then of course Leon, who's played really well at that tournament and the pre-tournament, and you have all of them coming back here at some point to your team. How excited are you having seen them maybe play against the best of the best, and how much do you hope that transfers over into the regular season?
Well, I am excited, and it was certainly, you look at the experience that those centers are having and had, and with the success, it's something to be play against them. It's another thing to have success against them, and that's what all three of them did. And Leon was in and out with ice time. And I talked to him a little bit, but he's had a real good tournament. He's been making plays. He's been skating well. And then, of course, our two centers with this North American team. I thought Ryan had a terrific tournament, and he looked bigger and stronger and faster just from the get-go, and it translated in a good play. And, of course, Connor, you saw the stuff that he did. I don't have to go really in-depth on that. That's going to, that'll help us. And any time they can play, and Connor would play in the World Championship team the year before, the last spring. That stuff only builds their resume, and it'll benefit us.
Peter, Milan spoke yesterday about working the "here we go again" attitude out of the locker room. How do you feel this team is better equipped to avoid long stretches of futility, or even a couple periods where they're not in the game?
Yeah, I'm not really privy to that "here we go again." I see it written about and stuff, but I think it's just about. And I've talked to Milan about this, and it's about avoiding long streaks, and it's being able to work your way out of a losing streak. Like, oftentimes, we talked about our time in Boston. Like, when you're in a losing streak, even when you're in a winning streak and you start at the end to start playing poorly, and it's going to change, and you're still winning. You have to have the mental discipline to work your way out of it. In a losing streak, same thing. There are times when you should win, so it's maybe you cut a streak short by 2 games. Whether it's a 5-game streak becomes a 3-game losing streak, and that makes all the difference in the world to making the playoffs. So here we go again. I'm not sure, but as far as the mental discipline and minimizing those streaks, I think it's important, and it's just about having the proper attitude. And we'll work on that this year.
With all the changes you guys have made, what are realistic expectations for this team?
I'm not ready to give you expectations yet. I have them, and I'll share them with you at some point. But we're going to improve. We improved last year, believe it or not, and we're going to improve again. And you know, I see the threshold in making the playoffs. It was low last year in the West. I think points are more evenly distributed. I think it'll be lower again. Not necessarily lower than it was, but lower than it historically has been. So I mean, it's attainable right now. So I'll be more specific later on.
What do you expect the World Cup players to be on the ice and playing the game, Connor and
Connor and Nuge will be back Tuesday morning, and then as far as Leon and Reggie, you know, probably give them the same amount of time
so that's
off.
back, is it on the ice?
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah.
Peter, we've seen what Milan can do on the ice. What do you see his role as in the room with the team and part of this leadership for this team?
Well, he'll be just that. He'll be part of the leadership group, and you know, he's led before, and I've seen him lead firsthand, and I would expect fully that he does that here. And I know he's talked to a lot of the other guys just in general, and he'll talk specifically about. You know, we talked about this, how you approach a losing streak and little stuff like that. He'll be instrumental, and of course he'll lead by example on the ice too.
What do you expect from Yakupov, who last year had not a very good year, and he has to obviously dig in and show.
Yeah, I would. I mean, he's got that level of grit in his persona, and I would expect that. And it wasn't a good year for him. We had a pretty pointed exit meeting, and I'm sure we'll have a couple of meetings here leading into the start of the year. But I mean, he's got skill and talent, and can shoot the puck, and he's still young. So, I know he's a proud guy, and I would expect him to, as you say, to dig in.
Peter, the trade, obviously, you wanted to upgrade your defense, and you did with Larson. Just the overall importance of your 6 defenders, and maybe your expectations from that group, because for any team to have success, it's really got to start on the back end. Outside of Larson, who else do you expect to maybe elevate their game this year on your blue line?
Well, I look upon us getting another player back in Clef, because we really didn't have him for the bulk of the season. So I think those 2 players will contribute greatly as to breaking the puck out and as to defending. I think you're going to see improvement in Darnell. He's bigger and stronger. He's got a year under his belt. And then the rest of the group their game will rise with those 3. I mean, Brandon Davis's will be better, and I liked what I saw in Reggie in the World Cup. So I think when you add 2 guys, which effectively we've done in Clef and in Larson, top 4 defenders, I think the whole group gets better, because you slot into your spot, and you're not overplaying too many minutes, and so. You know, I expect our group to improve as a whole, and really firstly by adding those 2 guys.
Thanks, Peter.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So what do you look at this team and all the changes they've made over the summer? What do you think of the
I think we look pretty good. We're fast, we're big, we're physical. We're going to be a really strong team, I think. I think, as you can see down the middle with Connor, Nuge, and Draisaitl, I mean, that's a pretty 1, 2, 3 good punch. And if anyone's on those lines, I mean, anyone would be excited to play with those guys. So I think all around with goaltending, adding Larson on the back end, I think we look pretty strong. I think our team's moving forward, but obviously we have to have a really good start this year to the season.
How was your offseason? I know Todd McClellan said that he was really looking forward to seeing you after the work you put in this summer.
Yeah, it was really good. I put a lot of effort in, lost a lot of weight, and committed myself to the Edmonton Oilers because I want to be here for the next 2 years. I loved it here last year, and I'm going to continue to love it. And like I said, we have a really young team, and I'm getting old, and to play with those young guys and the speed and the physical game we can play, it's really exciting. So it's an exciting summer for me, and certainly it's going to be an exciting year for me too.
How much weight do you have?
I lost a lot, 25 pounds. So.
Do you think you had to lose that, or were you just told to lose it?
I was heavy. I was really heavy. I wasn't, with this game and to keep up with. I mean, you watch the Team North America. I mean, to keep up with those guys, I'm not getting any younger, so I just try to get just a half inch faster. Not try to get speedy fast, but try to catch up. But I put the time and effort in, and that's what it's all about. Though you got to commit yourself to this game because this game doesn't last a lifetime. So you got to be smart and be smart off the ice and be smart on the ice too with it.
Lose 25 pounds.
I don't know. It's like
It's not eating stuff like this.
no, I mean it's just obviously dieting, eating the right things and putting the right things in your body to make sure, you're feeling good off the ice, feeling good every morning, waking up and going into training to make sure you're putting the right things in your body. But it didn't happen overnight. Obviously we had a really long off season. It's not like I did it right away. I gained weight too during that time too, so I had to lose it all. So it wasn't like my playing weight, but I did it. All dieting. Chad, our strength coach here, put me through with someone, and we just went to work and we communicated all summer, and it happened.
Patrick, you're known for your tough physical play. What's it like to have a guy? I mean, I'm sure you went up against Milan Lucic a number of times, but to have a guy like that on your side now, what does that having a guy like that mean on your team?
Well, I don't have to get beat up again. No, it's good. I mean, like I said, with Pouliot, me, and Luch, Drysaddle's a big guy too. I mean, we got Hendy, Cassian. I mean, that's pretty strong, pretty tall, strong, heavy guys that can play that cycle game, protecting the pucks, getting to the front of the net, creating havoc for our offensive skilled guys. So I think that's going to be – I think we match up like a team against LA and Anaheim. I think we have those guys that can play that style of play, and I think it's pretty strong. And it's pretty looking forward to it. I know everyone's excited, but in the locker room, everyone's excited too. I mean, to have that up front and the toughness, and that opens up so much space for all of our skill guys and to do what they need to do.
And how valuable is it?
Of a playoff team, or is it too early to start talking?
I mean, it's too early, but I think on paper we are, for sure. But like I said, it's too early. I think, like I said earlier, we need to have a good start. We need to prove everyone that we are that team, and it starts today, and I think everyone has that right mindset.
And how valuable, just on Lucic thing, how valuable is it to have a guy like that in the room? I mean, this is a guy who's gone all the way, Game 7 Stanley Cup and has battled.
Absolutely. I think it's great. I mean, he's won a Stanley Cup, and he's been in the playoffs every year since he's been in the league. So, I mean, to have that role and character guy in the room is very special. Even for a guy like Versteeg that's on a PTO, I mean, he's brought 2 Stanley Cups. I mean, just to have him in the locker room to communicate with him, I mean, those are huge key parts to this team that we're going to need, because those are the type of guys that know how to win, that know what it takes to play in the Game 7s and the Stanley Cup Finals.
Milan seems to be kind of charged with creating the culture change. How much do you want that to
He's, he can do a lot, obviously. I mean, what kind of player he plays. I mean, so I think with him, I think he's going to teach the young guys, what it takes. And I think he could change the room. I think that's a guy we needed. He brings a physical presence, and he brings it every night on the ice. And he's a good character guy in the room. So I think he's the guy that everyone's going to look up to. More like Connor too. Everyone's going to look up to those guys. So I think those two, everyone's going to be keen on them.
Get a discount?
Man,
No, I mean that in a good way. Like,
you should talk.
yeah, I'm not one of those.
Patrick lost 25 pounds this summer. What have you done this summer?
I'm the same, I think. Actually, my body fat used to be 8.8, now I'm at 8.2, so it's good. I ate a lot of burgers this summer, so I think I'll be over in 10, but I'm in the same way, so really happy for it.
What were you working on with Steve Sagat?
You know what? We just went to the ice and had some fun for 2 weeks. We did a lot of things, and most of the time it was the shots, right? You know, he knows what to do. He worked with the skill guys. He worked with the NHL players. He worked with the stars, and I just trying to listen to him and do everything he says, you know. And again, we did a lot of good things. So we did a little bit of skating, and the good thing we had different goalies there all the time. And you know, we just skated. I mean, I came here early like I usually do, and we skate for an hour, and I try to work hard and just shoot as many pucks I can.
Did you think you would get traded at the NHL?
You know what? Summer's that kind of time. Same time, you don't want to think about hockey, but at the same time, during the year, you've heard some thoughts and rumors. You might going to get traded, maybe not. Maybe going to do this. You might go there, you know. But I just try to take my break and try to enjoy time back home, be with my family, and then as soon as I start training, I train. And I work hard, and I don't think those kind of conversations or thoughts got to stick in your head, and you can't think about it, right? I mean, it's big business, it's a big league, one of the best league in the world, right? And anything can happen in this league. You guys probably know this summer. So I was ready to expect everything. But now I'm happy to be here. I like the city. I've been here. This is my 5th year. You know, I love the city. I love the fans. I have a lot of families here. A lot of friends. Sorry, I have just one family. So.
How do you convince the coach to get more ice time?
You know, I don't really want to talk about it. I just all I have to do just work. You know, it was really good. Really good first day, and it was really fast, and we get our pace going right away. You know, we watched like 2 videos already, and you know that's what we got to do. And I think as a player, all I have to do is listen and do the right things. That's it. About ice time, I think it's after you. You know, all you have to do just on your team, and then whatever coach is going to say or whatever management going to do, they're going to do it anyway. So you just gotta follow the way. Sometimes nothing you can do about it, right? So many things can happen. So just got to be ready for everything.
Do you think this is a big year for you, Neil, at this point in your career? I mean, your 5th year. Do you think it's a big season for you?
Yeah, I think it's more yes than no, because at the same time I can say that every year is really important too. It doesn't matter how many years you played in the one team or where you played before. You know, it's every year is important, right? I mean, you always want to be the higher you've been last year, and you don't want to go down, and you don't want to go to the bottom line, and you always want to work hard. Like for me, and mentally, since I was a kid, the work mentality was always like that, you know, because the hockey is my job, it's my hobby, it's the favorite thing, and it's a job, right? We got to pay for it, and I think like everyone in this world have to work to make some money. So I think that's what we do too. And this year the special thing, you know, we have like unbelievable rink, the beautiful rink I've ever seen in my life, you know, and I think it's going to be more excited to play in this ring in this building, and you know, a lot of new faces in the locker room, and you know, I'm ready to play and ready to win, and just keep moving forward and try to do my best.
What does it mean, Yak, to have some of those new faces? I know it's only first day, but does it feel different with guys like Versteeg and Lucic kind of walking around and sitting beside you?
I've been here for a while, like a month and a half, right? So I've seen Lucic before, and you know, it just every year we come to the locker rooms and new faces. So you know, everyone is. The all they mature, right? So yeah, and I think no one's shy to talk to those players, you know, especially the players who played in one of the best teams in the league. They won the cups, and I think it's really good and really good opportunity to have those guys in the locker room. But it's normal thing, right? It's a job. It's hockey. Every year, you know, you can wake up tomorrow, you're gonna have another new faces in the locker room. So it's just kind of, I think it's a normal thing for sport.
Did you ever want to be traded?
You know what? when you
Peter said you talked to your agent, and your agent said he wants to be back, and he's happy to be here.
so you know at the same time it's really frustrating conversation because it's not just about a hockey and to go somewhere else to play and forgot about everything you hang out there for a few years, you know, forgot about your teammates who you play with and the people who helped you around for a few years. You know, it's not tough. It's life too. I mean, to change your location, it's like if you have a family, you're gonna move to a different country. It's really hard. I mean, it's same thing. You live in a one family, and then you have to move to another family. It's completely different house, right? Different people and different city, different country maybe, and different rules. It was hard to kind of to think about that way. I always want to stay here and stay here for a while, but you know, the things might going to change, maybe not. So again, I'm happy to be here and to wear the orange T-shirt right now. Talk to you guys, and you know, put a practice jersey tomorrow and just enroll again for it.
CBC, if any of you guys care about the Oil Kings announcement, they're holding it for you. They're doing it at center ice in the main concourse. So go now. I'm trying to give you a heads up and help that. So go now. How do we get there, sure? Go. Zamboni, up the road, across the way.
Coach is coming?